Alright guys, back in the video, and this time we're going to be going over a deck I've been messing around with, and it's with Gotenks leader. Yes, the yellow one. And we're going to be playing blue-yellow Gotenks. If you don't know what he does, attack, draw a card, and you can take a life. Sort of like the old Broly yellow leader. And it's going to be a deck similar to the old blue-yellow deck for Broly, but with this leader and a few different changes. And if your opponent activates an extra card when they have one or more energy, you draw a card. That's on both players' turns. So, pretty good against Mecha Frieza. You draw free cards. Backside, Awaken Untap 2, same thing. And then he has a Union Fusion effect that doesn't matter for this deck specifically. So, let's go ahead and get into it. So, half of our deck is blue-yellow cards, which is crazy to think about after building dual-color decks back in the day. So, one of the most important cards is your check land, because you're going to need these for your colors. And, yeah. And it also has a decent effect to draw a card when you play it. 4 of your blue-yellow arrival. Super combo. Helps you arrival, obviously. And, yeah, and it rests things, which is pretty cool. Now, like, extra copies of this card. Hit, if you don't know what he does, he becomes a 0-cost 5k if you have a blue-yellow card in your energy, which helps you arrival. Which helps you play out your main card, your main start piece. And he has Aegis, and that's the whole point of this deck, is to abuse Aegis. This guy's arrival for 1, unique, and every time you activate his Aegis, you draw a card, and it's pretty awesome. So remember, this guy is like your main pivotal card. You want to see this in your opening hand. You don't really want to charge it unless you draw multiples, and even then, you still really don't want to, because if they get rid of it, you need to put another on board. But he has Barrier, which makes him more reliable. 3 copies of Goku Hit. It's a rival deck. Could potentially play a 4th one, but with space and utility, I wanted to play a 4th copy of another rival, but essentially a 4th him. Goku and Vegeta. This guy's like a bloodlust draw card. Helps you get around things you shouldn't be able to, and yeah, he's pretty good. Also, all these cards can be pitched off of Aegis whenever they become dead, which is awesome. So drawing extra copies of these blue-yellow cards that you can't do anything with in your hand to charge or combo with, they are useful for discard for Aegis. 3 copies of your Gene and... I forgot how to say this guy's name. Gene and Martine. This card is a counterplay Aegis. Whenever you activate Aegis, period, you draw 2. So if you have this and the other guy on board, you draw 3 cards off 1 Aegis ability, which is insane. And it has a counterplay ability for 5 or less. Really cool card. And it actually has Aegis itself. So this helps you untap 4 energy on your opponent's turn if you do both. So you can see how important it is to have blue-yellow cards in your hand. 2 Frost Deadly Poison, like a Bloodlust, Crusher Ball, and draw a card on 1 card. And it also restains the energy if you're at 3 or less. One of your win cons, Hit in Cold Blood. This guy becomes cheaper for each blue and yellow battle card on the board, so he becomes a 4-drop. If you have 3 on board, which is very easy, especially with all the arrival. And I'll show you some other things that are important. And he has Triple Strike, and he flips your opponent's leader over, and they can't awaken until the end of until your next turn, essentially. And then you can play this Secret Rare, Power Up Patara. It also is blue-yellow, so you can pitch it if it's ever dead. And he is just game over. Draw 4 cards, rest 4 things, becomes 5 cost if your opponent has 6 things rested, which is really easy, especially since you're resting their things and they're playing things. Really easy to play this guy on turn 5. Or you could play the Supreme Kai Time. It's up to you, but it's also awesome. There's just a blue-yellow card to help you with your Aegis. Supreme Kai Time would be pretty cool with the Aegis in the sense that you will have 2 energy open with Aegis. If you don't know what Aegis is, you just pitch a blue-yellow card or blue and a yellow card, and you restand 2 energy on your opponent's turn, for those of you that were wondering. So, to the next pile of cards, these are like your not dual-color cards, and this guy is super important. If you have a blue-yellow card in your energy, he becomes a 1 cost, essentially, because at the end of turn, you draw 2, then discard a card and restand an energy. Super strong. So that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to play this deck again. And that also gives you a turn 2 to dig for your 1-cost Aegis arrival. And then on your opponent's turn, you can discard a blue-yellow card and play an ape on their turn, which is pretty crazy. This is all during the battle, so you can arrival in the Aegis Bojack. And once you do, you have this on board and this on board. So that's 2 battle cards for your Hit in Cold Blood already. You pitch a blue-yellow, it doesn't matter which one it is. And you have 2 energy open, combo this on your last attack, and you have 3 bodies on board: 20k, 20k double strike, and a 15k plus your leader attack, which is pretty solid if you ask me. And yeah, if you know what he does, comes into play for 2 energy, combo on your opponent's turn, or your turn, and rest one of your opponent's battle cards and draw a card. Super strong. A good target you can discard off of your Aegis or your Goku Black, or just combo in general. Draw 2 ape. 2 Bergamo. As you can tell, you're resting cards with your ape, and you're resting cards with your Zamasu Super Combo. And then you play this guy, tap your opponent out, and go in for some crazy plays. Especially whenever you're resetting 2 energy on your opponent's turn, you can sometimes get people off guard with this. It's pretty good. 2 Chomp of the Trickster. If you have blue yellow energy as the counterplay, you can play this guy for 2, and he draws a card if it's your opponent's turn. Super good. Then the last yellow card utility is Cooler. Is Bad Ring. Super good. The only issue you will see with this is if you have to charge multiple blues, which is typically not what you're going for. You really do want to draw like your Beerus check lands, and then only charge a second blue if you do not see a check land for your Goku Black. So this will be alive by minimum turn 4. To the blue extra cards, and just good cards in general extra cards. Force Interbeam, come on now. 2 Wii Squirtion, 2 Flying Nimbus, and 2 Time Magic. This is just utility. In my opinion, you could actually probably switch up the ratio here for these counters. It's up to you. And just side more copies of these cards depending on the matchup. And yeah. Also, you can take in an Overwhelm and further instruction Champa because you're playing this, which is all good and gravy, but I did not see a way for you to consistently do that. You could potentially do it. I just don't know what I would take out yet, because this is 25 dual colors and 25 non-dual colors, which gives you an even ratio for your Aegis and rivals and what you need to see to play the game. So thank you guys for watching the video, and shout out to my girlfriend for recording this video because we haven't done it in a while. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. Deuce.